Not
to
now.
do.
Not now.
But it would be sexist, so I won't. I don't know where the kitchen is, but that's not the point.
I know someone who wouldn't like that comment. But
If that someone finds out, I'll be cooked.
well, then you know the kitchen. Guys, we've been covering Diddy for a long while now. 8 weeks, 9 weeks. Sentence was 2 out of 5. But the big question, of course, is all these stories we've heard about him. Well, let me play the video. Fair use.
You have to really be able to separate the fairy tale from what factually happened. Where are all the celebrity freak off tapes? Where is J-Lo in a room with an underage person? And where are all these salacious things? Meek Mill, French Montana. Where are all these, we thought there were videos of Diddy having his way with other men and blackmailing them. Where are these videos? And he didn't spike the oil. You know, I think we all thought that you put on the oil unknowing that it's spiked with GHP, and then you go into this euphoric state and you do anything he says, and that would be against your will. But all the testimony we've heard is people taking the drugs willingly and knowingly. So it's interesting, just the baby oil alone we were lied to about.
And she's like, it's all over social media. She says, you haven't heard it? And I said, no, I didn't hear it. And she played audio for me. And it absolutely is not something that is a part of the trial, and it's not real, but it shows you how people have created their own narratives. And if you are not completely locked in from what's real and what's not, he is actually at this moment being penalized for domestic, which is unacceptable. Of course, we're not making any excuses for domestic violence, but for the domestic as well as rumors.
So you have to.
Crazy, RJ.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
by
very
the
crazy,
way, before you
but
continue, I won't
yeah.
pull out the baby oil today.
It was closed last time. I hope it stayed closed. But hey, this is what I think is really going on, KaiR. There are a lot of rumors, but not everything can be proven. In the bedroom, KaiR, even people who record themselves once in a while, don't record everything. Usually, people don't record when they're intimate, unless they're trying to skip a pros charge by selling it or posting it. Because if you record and post, then it's art. But if you just record, anyways, I think that the fact that we don't have the evidence does not mean that it didn't happen. Because where there's smoke, there's fire. Wow. At the same time, we have people like Jaguar Right, not the left one, Jaguar Right going left with her comments, stating a lot of things without any proof and saying that that's the truth with such a conviction. So true. I think we might be able to gather through testimonies of various people what could have happened. But if J-Lo was involved, J-Lo wouldn't talk. A lot of people wouldn't talk, and that's not the point. As Boozy said, he's guilty. He's for sure guilty of a freako. Boozy said he's guilty of a freako, but a freako is not punishable by law. And whether there were substances involved and things like that, it's only people who are there that can say it. But most likely the people using it also don't want to say it because then it will implicate themselves. So it's a very weird thing. What we do know is that straight to the point, what we do know is that the feds did not have sufficient proof to substantiate their claim. That's what we know.
In addition, they didn't have any other proof to add those other charges to this case.
Yeah.
Because rest assured, they would have done that if they could.
Yes
Imagine,
and no.
imagine
Yes and no.
RJ if he's blackmailing people. They would have added it, and then the RICO was cooked.
I don't know if that's the case.
How
I'm
so?
gonna put. I should buy a prop tinfoil hat right now. Actually, for moments like these.
You
Because
should, or you
they
can
dropped
go
the
into the
charges on.
kitchen, or you can go to the kitchen and create your own.
I could. I was gonna
Not
make a
now.
joke,
Not now.
but it would be sexist, so I won't. I don't know where the kitchen is, but that's not the point.
I know someone who wouldn't like that comment.
If that someone finds out, I'll be cooked.
Well, then you know the kitchen.
Well, then I'll be happy as well because that means she watches the show. So okay. But yeah, KR. So this is the point. This is the point I want to make. If the feds did find certain video,
Proof
step
of,
away. I'm gonna step away from Diddy right now and talk about your boy, the island boy. Apparently,
My
there's
boy.
no. Apparently,
my boy. Yeah,
There is-
he's my boy. I'm his leader. Yeah, right.
apparently, they didn't find any list. They've been talking about a list for years.
Yo,
They've been talking about the island list for years.
I'll tell you
And
this
KR,
before you continue.
now they're
before you
saying that there
continue.
isn't a list.
Before you
Do
continue.
you think that there isn't a list, or do you think that the list is being used for persuasion purposes? So I'm saying it can also be. It could also be. I mean, if you really want to go that route, that they did find some things and they were like, no, this is too juicy. Let's save it for when he gets out. Then he'll be able to do our bid. This is just a tinfoil talking. You know, when I wear the tinfoil hat, it limits the blood circulation in my head. But
Yeah.
but
I'll
this
say
is-
this,
this is-
RJ. One thing,
Okay.
and I blame the government for this.
okay.
Had the government told the island boy that he didn't have a client list, he wouldn't have offed himself right before he started cooperating. Because the question is, what was he gonna cooperate with? It's a shame. They should have told him he didn't have a list. Would have been easier. He would have still be here. Playing the song.
They should have. Yeah.
But I guess they didn't tell him. Now he's not here anymore.
Allegedly. But that's a whole different talk.
Jesus. Double tinfoil.
that
Double tinfoil. My God. So you're saying he's in the islands right now?
Nah, man, I'm just playing, man. I'm just
Sunny
playing.
beaches.
There are beaches there. Yeah.
It's next to the coast.
I don't know where.
There is
I
a
know where it is.
large parking lot next to that coast. Recently placed.
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure where he is.
The biggest parking lot in the world is on that coast.
I'm not sure where he is, man.
Well, you're suggesting he's at a parking lot. The biggest parking
didn't
lot
say-
recently placed. I mean, it's a shiny parking lot.
I didn't say
There are
anything.
new
about
there
that.
are new realtors coming in to place buildings there. I heard, according to someone's president, but not sure if it's true.
I don't know anything about
Not
that.
sure. It's a tinfoil. But since you're going tinfoil, I can put the tinfoil hat as well.
I don't know, man. But to go,
But yeah.
let's go back. Okay, so I'm just saying, I just made that example just to talk about Diddy, man, because we're talking about Diddy. So Diddy,
Oh man.
Diddy,
Let's go back to Diddy. Let's go back
Yeah.
to ninja shit.
Diddy, yeah. So Diddy, it's very weird. So hindsight is very. If you look at it, if you look back at what happened, all the things they talked about, all the rumors, and then they go to trial like this.
Yeah.
Either they're very incompetent or they had a different plan, and maybe it was just to punish Diddy because he challenged the his ego got in the way
Yeah.
of him thinking clearly, and they said, okay, now we're gonna punish you, make
His
you
ego or the drug use, but okay.
in any case. So it's weird, but in any case, I think we can all agree that the way this whole thing went down is clear. And maybe we can look at it in a different way as well. Maybe a lot of people, when they saw that Diddy went down, that he was detained, and that he was basically falling off his pedestal, people started talking. But then they started talking about things that were not really like law related, so criminal matters, but more rumors and freaky things. And that superseded, let's say, the legal matter.
Mm.
And then
Yeah,
and people were more caught up in the freaky, so in the freako than in the RICO. But even then, let's say even if that was the case, why would the prosecutor charge him with RICO without evidence?
Well, they try to stretch the evidence. It's like they try to stretch it how Colombians, or no, it wasn't Colombians. When the Colombians send the white, a particular group in the ghetto tries to stretch it into something else. They do know where the kitchen is because the rappers rap about it. It's in the kitchen and they try to stretch it. And I have the feeling that that was happening with this RICO charge as well. Oh, beautiful analogy. Oh my God.
That's clear, loud and clear.
It's a beautiful analogy, but they try to stretch it. That's the only thing. Because, I mean, they really tried to stretch it. They tried to put together the trafficking with the forced labor and the Kid Cudi stuff, and try to make that as if he's running a criminal enterprise.
Yeah.
So,
And the fact that that the defense didn't put anyone on the stand,
that was crazy. That was crazy.
they
I
were
remember
like, nah,
talking-
they don't have a case here. Yeah. So
I remember saying to you, either they are really clear-eyed, 2020 vision, that they have proof that there's nothing here. I mean, pro activities were clearly, they knew they were gonna lose that one. It's impossible to deny that one. But the other ones were basically toss-ups. Weren't that strong. So anyway, guys, do you believe that there's more hidden videos of Diddy other than the ones they showed in the court? Do you believe these will be used to persuade people to go back to the plantation? Not literally, of course, for those